We're talking baseball. I can't believe it's the longest spring training ever. We're now ready to start the regular season. Mike, you and I were talking. We've been very critical of what happened this offseason, I think because we see a small window for this team, this Phillies team, to keep winning. And it's interesting, the comparison that you and I have been coming up with is the Phillies of the 70s, 1980 team that won the World Series is very similar to what I'm seeing now with what's been happening with the Phillies, and they won a title here in 2008.
Yeah, when you first brought that up, I didn't. My initial reaction was, I don't know about that. But when we started thinking about it player for player, it actually is kind of legit.
Let's go through it a little bit.
Well, I think Schmidt, Chase Utley are kind of analogs to each other in some ways, both great defensive players and excellent offensive players. Schmidt was the best offensive player in the game for quite a while, and Utley isn't quite that. Although he is a middle infielder and an outstanding all-around player. So I think those two are the analog. Maybe Greg Luzinski, Ryan Howard, and I would give Ryan Howard a little bit of an edge over Luzinski probably.
But you look at the home runs and the RBIs with Luzinski, but then also the strikeout factors in there too.
Similar types of players. In center field, Victorino is not unlike Maddox in some ways, better defensively than offensively, not a real power guy, and kind of a free swinger a little bit, certainly in Maddox's case, but both real good defensively. Maybe the Manny trio of this team is Pedro Feliz, maybe, the third baseman. I think that's maybe a
very good defensively, solid hitter,
Jason Worth, Bake McBride.
That was one of my favorite ones. I started noticing that during the World Series last year.
Yeah, that's
solid
not bad.
Play.
Good athlete, lanky guy. McBride had a lot of trouble with his knees, which eroded his athleticism. But so I was really surprised how well this worked once we started thinking about it. And you got Hamels and Steve Carlton.
Yes.
You've got Lidge and Tug McGraw.
You could see and even catcher Bob Boone and Carlos Ruiz. Neither one are great hitters, but both of them got a great reputation for what they do with the pitching staff and great defensive catchers out there.
Not only that, but think how well Ruiz hit in the postseason last year.
Good point.
And think about the huge hits that Bob Boone got in 1980.
It's very interesting comparison. And the one we have left out really right now is the shortstop position. Jimmy Rollins, Larry Boa.
Again, I think there's some similarities. They're little guys that are kind of make a lot of noise and kind of leaders on their teams. They're not. It's not like eerily similar players in most of these cases. But I was surprised how well, once you thought about it and broke it down, how well this really worked.